guys, so today I'm going into the garden to do a little tour. It's July 31st today. It's gonna be a really hot day, 102, so I'm trying to get out there before that happens. I have a lot of harvesting I need to do coming up, so I wanted to do a quick update before I start tearing up the garden. So it's just me and little Bug. Can you say hi? Yeah. Okay, you looking at the chickens? Okay, so we're gonna do a quick update. Okay, here we are. So here's an overview of the garden, July 31st. Ignore this first row. This is just a bunch of weeds that I have not gotten to yet. But I'm getting better, trying to get better at seed saving. So this is my mustard greens that bolted and went to seed. So these are, if you can see, the little seed pods. So I'm letting them get nice and dry on there, and then I'll save those for next year. So I'm gonna try to do that with a bunch of things this year. But here, these are perennial flowers. This is Korean hyssop. They're about to start blooming. They have beautiful purple flowers. The bees absolutely love them. They're probably my favorite flower in here. Plus, this is all the same thing. It's also Korean mint, but I harvest the leaves for tea, and it has like a black licoricey flavor, which I really like, but my husband does not really like that. So I have broccoli. It's starting to flower though, so that's one of the things I need to get out here and harvest. They don't have huge heads or anything, but once I pick off the main head, they start making side shoots. So we'll just have broccoli going until the end of the season. Over here, I have 4 rows of tomatoes, all different types. This far end is more of the cherry tomatoes. Those have been getting ripe. So we've been eating on those. We have Sun Golds, some Super Sweet 100s, and then I have a bunch of heirlooms, but they take a little longer. And then, we have a bunch of just green tomatoes on there. They just haven't ripened yet. The first 2 rows are San Marzano and Amish paste. Never grown Amish paste. I'll bring you over there. I did San Marzano last year and I really liked those. But Amish paste are these ones here. So we're getting a good amount. They're just not ripe yet, but they're that more traditional canning tomato, like the shape of it. The San Marzano, we have one with a lot of them on there. Here's a San Marzano. This one's just loaded with fruit. So we just have to wait for it to ripen. Oh, some more there. Yay! And then we have a bunch of tomatillo plants, so they produce a lot. We like to use that for salsa. So there we have it. And then on the ends I planted borage, which self-seeded itself from last year. Bees really, really love the borage, and it's supposed to help the tomatoes, so I like looking into companion planting and things like that, so that's what those are, among weeds, of course. This is my herb row, which I need to get to weeding. This is the last row I needed to do. That was like in serious, dire need of help. But I have raspberries at the end, and then just, your regular herbs. I actually have some medicinal ones. I have valerian I planted this year. I started it from seed this spring. It's doing really well, but I think you don't harvest it till the second year. So, feverfew, that one's starting to bloom. It's good for headaches. My echinacea is doing okay. I don't think we're gonna get it to flower this year, but hopefully it'll be good next year. This is a huge lemon balm bush. Anyway, so this was all lettuce. So I cut all that back and laid down some mulch. That was our first planting of lettuce, so that's all done. So I can replant this for fall. And then this is arugula that I'm letting go to seed. I'm going to seed save that. And then we have some cabbage and some flowering dill here. So it's getting there. Everything's been acting kind of a little slower this year. We had a really slow start to the summer. It's been very cold. And now we are in like the heat of crazy heat, oppressive heat. So what you gonna do? We have lettuce that's going to seed here, and I'm gonna save the seed pods again. All my kale is along here. And then we have strawberries. They should start fruiting again pretty soon here. And then I did some fennel. Never planted fennel before, but it's doing pretty good. And then up the trellis here, I planted pole beans. And they're flowering. Let's see. Yep, we're starting to get little baby green beans. Yay! And then this is a different type of cabbage. It's getting there. This is the latest I've ever had cabbage. I usually am harvesting this in the very beginning of July the past 2 years, and I don't know, it just must have been a really slow start, I guess. But the red cabbage is more than ready to be harvested, so I'm going to get out here and get those, and we're going to make some red cabbage sauerkraut maybe. The other thing I need to harvest is the carrots here. I have a lot of carrots all down the line here. I need to get up. More lettuce. My onions. Pretty pitiful bulbs this year. I don't know what happened. Actually, I think I planted them too deep. So, live and learn. I knew that too, and I knew it when I was planting them. I'm like, I'm doing this wrong. But yeah, I have a bunch of carrots I need to harvest today. I have a lot more over there, so I'm gonna pull those up and hopefully can them. Oh, and my first Cosmo. Flowers are doing beautifully. They're just not like super flowery yet. But here we have a big row of potatoes. That is my red Pontiac that I saved. I saved the potatoes from my harvest last year, and they did really well. I mean, I haven't pulled them up yet, but they're looking really good. And then I planted something I tried different this year. Planted bush beans along the side of the potatoes because they're supposed to be good companions. And those are flowering like crazy. I planted those a little bit later than the bush beans I have elsewhere, so they're starting. So I have regular bush beans, and then I also planted black beans, which I've never grown before, so I'm pretty excited about that. These are black beans, yeah. So and then here I have my corn, my pumpkins, butternut squash, all that jazz. I did just rows of corn over there, normal rows with my sunflowers in the back as kind of like maybe a little sun break for that crazy afternoon sun. But this row I experimented with like a Three Sisters type of layout. So I did the circle of corn here, and then I did a pumpkin or squash plant in between, and then another corn, squash, corn, squash. This is volunteer calendula. But yeah, I wanted to see how it worked out. And then I didn't have any more bean seeds, which is what you usually plant at the base of these. But what I did have was, I did have pea seeds. So I'm trying that out. So I planted some peas at the base a couple of weeks ago. So maybe I'll get a fall harvest on the peas. And you know, they really don't like the heat. So I wasn't sure if they'd germinate, but they did good, and they're all coming up. And so we'll see how they do. And they're getting shade from the corn here, so maybe they'll be okay. So that's an experiment. But yeah. So we got a bunch of flowers. I think I saw a little pumpkin forming on one of the plants down there, but and then I just put a few summer squash plants here in between of the breaks in the corn. My marigolds I kept the ends with marigolds. They're starting to bloom. Yay. Sunflowers. I had some amaranth here, but they were beautiful last year and huge at this time, and they just were slow to start as well. Probably had to do with the cold. But anywho, last part of the garden is over here. And I have potatoes on each of the far end and this one. As you can see, they look like they're dead, but this is what they're supposed to look like when you're ready to harvest them. They were beautiful and green and flower, and then they get all brown and yellow like this. Means it's ready to pull them up. So I'm gonna have Michael definitely help me with all the potato harvesting, because it's a lot of work to dig up those potatoes sometimes. So we'll be doing that soon. Probably do a video of our potato harvest. But I have the red Pontiacs were over there. These are either russets or Yukon Golds, and the other side is the same, so I don't remember which side I planted them on. All the trellises, I did peas this year. The circle trellises, I did English peas, and I already harvested those and put those in the freezer. The middle trellis is snap peas, and so I'm just done picking off of all those. It's too hot. I'm letting them all get brown and go to seed so I can save their seed pods, which I've never saved seed from peas either, so I'm excited to see how that goes. So here's some more carrots. Those are all ready to go up, get pulled up. I have calendula, a lot of calendula over here, and I harvest these. The more you pick them, the more they bloom, and I've been severely slacking on it, but yeah, they're really great for skin salves. They have a lot of healing properties for your skin, so I like to infuse them in oil and put them in diaper creams or whatever skin salves I'm making. Okay. Then I had some Chinese long noodle beans here. That's what these are, and they're just not really taking off very well. My pepper plants are... Oh, we got a little pepper! Hey! They just look sad this year, but maybe they'll catch up with this heat we have. I don't know. They were just hating their life during this cold weather we had. But we have some squash, and this is all carrots too that needs to be pulled up. And we have a zucchini growing. Yay! More flowers coming. These are also potatoes, and I planted sweet potatoes next to them. Again, didn't like the cold weather, so they're alive, but I don't think there's a sweet potato under there. I've never planted sweet potatoes before. So we'll leave them in as long as we can and see what happens. But yeah, these are the other potatoes, and again, I lined them with bush beans. So those are ready to harvest too, so we got to get out here and get all these green beans harvested, and they'll just keep coming. So I'm going to hopefully can up a bunch of green beans this year. I'm really excited. I just bought a 144 Tatler lids, the reusable canning lids, so I'm excited about that. Don't need to keep buying metal lids. So that's pretty much the overview. Oh, what did you get, Hannah? She's breaking off the peas. Oh no. Okay. You got a pocket full of peas? Okay. Here. I'm gonna let go. Anyway, so that's the garden. Oh, one more thing. That's the orchard. We planted some fruit trees this year. Not gonna get any fruit off of them, but they're in the ground and they are irrigated. So hopefully next year we'll get something. And this is the greenhouse. Go in here. We have some herbs, some pepper plants. They're very small. But we're doing the string method for the tomatoes. Never done that before, but I am a huge fan so far. We've been getting tomatoes off of here. Got nice ripe ones. Just the cherry tomatoes still. But yeah, they're really tasty. And so we just make sure we prune off all the suckers, and then we just keep on like this. Wrap it around the string. Like that. So it just climbs with the string. And yeah, that one's pretty tall. So maybe it'll run out of room. I'm not sure. We only have about a month. Well, we have about a month and a half left, so it might run out of room. So that was an experiment, but I really like that method. I think I'm going to do that in the future. We have some big Amish paste coming up, and then I started more seedlings here for a fall garden. Hoping I didn't start them too late. We'll see. But that's that.